Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I am here with a review of Ready to Love Season 3, Episode 1. This was the cast introduction special. The only reason that I am doing this is for y'all because I normally do not do the cast introduction because there's so many people and they're going to be eliminated. So I don't even like to get into all those people, but I decided to go ahead and do it this time. I did do a voiceover. I don't know if you guys care when I do voiceovers or not, but I did a voiceover so that you would be able to see photos of the cast members, and this was the best way to do it. So, without any further ado, let's get into this recap. Okay, so we started out with our host, nephew Tommy. We are not getting a female coach again this season. I think we can stop asking. But I like nephew Tommy and I like the things that he has to say. Plus, nephew Tommy has been married for a long time, so I can appreciate him being the host of this show. Now, when he said he had a special guest to bring out, I was a little nervous because I thought Steve Harvey was coming out. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was going to have to put my phone down. I do not have a problem with Steve for the jokes, but I don't want to hear any more of what he has to say about relationships. I just really don't want to hear it. But it was actually Will Packer, the producer of the show, who came out, and it was nice to hear what they had to say. They introduced the cast to us and talked about what was going to be upcoming for the season. So we are in a new city. We're in Houston, Texas, which I thought was a great move. It was just time, you know. Atlanta's cool. I don't have anything against it, but it was just time to see something different. Houston is not without its dating problems. I am not going to act like it is easy to date here. You guys know I live here. But it's just a little bit different because there's other large cities around you. So if you were comfortable with long distance dating, you kind of can increase your chances of meeting somebody even in a neighboring city like Dallas or San Antonio or Austin, or possibly even one of the very small towns that are around Houston. You know, the country women and men, they want somebody too. So, you know, your Lake Jacksons and your Cedar Lakes and all of these other places, you could possibly even meet somebody. Your Beaumonts, you could possibly even meet somebody too. So, there's that instance as well. They are going to be 20 people on the show. They're going to be in one house. I'm pretty sure that's COVID-19 related. They said we're going to test all y'all and then y'all can't leave until we get done. But Will Packard is hoping that this will help them to be more focused because you can't really be in and out. You all will be under one roof. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be interesting coming from somebody who now is a grown woman living in a dorm again. Hey, when you can't go anywhere, a lot of interesting things do end up happening, and I'll just leave it. Not with me, but I'll just leave it at that when you got some grown people all under one roof. So we're gonna see how that goes. But now let's get into who is going to be in this cast. All right, so we're going to start it out with Ms. Naya. She is 42 years old and she is a sexy Scorpio. Okay, on the cast photos on OWN, they actually put your zodiac sign on there, and y'all know I'm here for that. So I'm going to say everybody's zodiac sign. She is 42 and she's a salon owner. It seems like this season they are going with the late 30s, early 40s, and I'm here for that because before they were going like 20 to 50, and then last season it seemed like mostly 30s. And yeah, I'm here for going a little bit older. If there was a senior citizen edition of Ready to Love, I'd watch that too. So I'm here for this. But Naya is ready to love. She's ready to find that one. Naya even goes as far to tell us that the marriage part can wait for her. The biggest thing for her is she needs that juice. She needs that milk. She is ready to have a baby. She has had, I think, 3 or 4 miscarriages, which I was very sad about. First impression, of Naya. She seems like she is a lot of fun, but I felt not sorry for her, but I felt anxious. I always feel very anxious for women when I know they want to have children and I know that they are on a time clock, and especially if they've had fertility issues. And when she said my problem is not getting pregnant, is carrying, it broke my heart. And she said that she a lot of times is under stress and she needs to just get somewhere and sit down, which is why she really wants to have that partner, that support. She's also said that she's in her head always wanted to be a housewife since she was a little girl. I don't know. I think I'm gonna end up liking Naya. I just hope she doesn't settle for anything in an effort to have a baby. The picture doesn't do her justice. Nobody's cast photo really does them justice. Very beautiful woman, but upon first impression, I was anxious for her, and I don't know. She seems like she's gonna be pretty fun. Next on the list, we have Adriana. She is 31 years old and she is a realtor. She is a part of the Virgo gang, so shout out to us. Adriana, again, her picture does not do her justice. When they panned up her body, I knew from her ankles that she was pretty. I didn't even have to see the rest of her. As soon as I saw her lower half of her body, I was like, oh yeah, she gonna be pretty. So she used to be a cheerleader for the Houston Texans. Had never cheered before, just tried out and made it. But because she was a cheerleader, a lot of guys tend to think that she's did C, and she wants them to know that she is very smart, might even be smarter than them. What she wants right now is just somebody nice and kind and a gentleman. She is tired of dating people who feel like they are the prize. And child, the prize has really become extremely controversial these days. I wish we would just throw the word out the window at this point, because everybody the prize at this point. Everybody think they the prize. So she just wants to date. Sounds like a gentleman or a nice person. My first impression of Adriana, other than the fact that she's pretty, I really don't know. I didn't get any type of vibes from Adriana. I think she's one of the youngest cast members on the show. So we're just gonna wish her well and kind of see what goes on with her, because I didn't get any type of first impression with her. Y'all can let me know what y'all thought though. All right, next on the list we have Jay. He is 43 years old. He is a real estate broker as well, and he is a Capricorn man. Now, what I noticed early on about Jay, as well as other people on the cast, both the men and the women, is the accountability that they were taking for either their failed relationships or their past, whatever it was. I just love the fact that everybody kind of put the mirror on themselves first. So often we put the mirror on the other person, but I just like the fact that people were doing that for the cast introduction. And it's a reason why I like watching Ready to Love, because I feel like for the most part, people do try to take ownership of the things that they're doing, not all the time. And it also just shows that the problem is not just the men, the problem is not just the women, it's both of us who need to be accountable. And so that's what I've always enjoyed about watching this show. You can kind of see it on both sides. So Jay has been married before. He was married for 5 years, and he ended up getting divorced. He says that he takes part of what he did in that marriage. He said he wasn't really being a family man until, he was completely done with his business and his career, and so he neglected his family a lot of times in that. He does have a daughter, and his daughter was actually part of the reason that he called it quits, because he didn't want her seeing the demise of the marriage and the bad parts of the marriage and then go and reproduce that in her own marriage. So baby, y'all know I love a good father, so that really warmed my heart to hear him say that. He also says that he is just looking for a woman who is nice. Okay, everybody wants somebody nice for the most part. He said that he is looking for like the kind of love that his mom and dad has. He said that the daddy still looks at the mom's butt when she gets up and leaves the room, and they've been married for 40 something years. So that too, I love that as well. He was like, that's love, and that's what I want. I want something like that. So he's ready. One thing I did notice about Jay, okay, first impressions, Jay seems like he's a little bit shorter, which shouldn't matter if there are women there shorter than him. But for some reason, ladies, we be 5'3" and want somebody to tower over us. I really do not understand it. I want y'all to quit sleeping on some of these shorter men, especially if you are shorter, because I'm going to tell y'all one day, we're going to do a story time, because I'm telling you, them little hands know what they doing. they little bitty hands. But he seems like he's going to be cool upon first impression, and I'm just really hoping that his height does not become an issue, because I'm warning y'all now, if his height becomes an issue and he gets eliminated, I'm going to be upset about it. I'm going to be upset. All right, so y'all let me know what y'all thought about Jay. Okay, next on the list, we have Brian. He is 35 years old, and he said he was an educational consultant, but the website says behavioral therapist, so I don't know. And he is a Libra. He has a passion for the youth in the community, helping children, so I love that. He has a 3-year-old daughter, and it was his daughter who helped him realize that he kind of needs to get right, get it together. Might be time to settle down, put some roots down. He says that he like all the women, light skin, dark skin, short hair, long hair. He like them all. Okay, whatever looks good on you, he enjoys it. So that part was good. Ryan said that he commands attention when he walks in the room. It is eyes on him because he just got that. He got that thing about him. Ryan just has that thing, and he do seem like his look is the type that a lot of people would turn for. So I don't doubt that that happens. My first impression of Brian, I don't know why, but something about it is a no. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I just get this feeling that Brian ain't ready. But I don't know. I don't know. That's just my first impression. I could be wrong. All right, next on the list, we have Joy. Joy is 38 years old. She is the owner of her consultant firm, and she is a Capricorn. Now, listen, y'all. Joy liked to wear her hair how I used to like to wear my hair. Just big, 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 big. I didn't care if you couldn't see around it. Not my problem. You better get somewhere where you can see. So, but she's very pretty. Her pictures, again, don't do her justice. You'd have to see her on the show. But Joy says that she was married for 3 years, and she knew the very first day that she got married that she had made a big mistake. So she is divorced. She cooks, she cleans, she just ready to meet that one. She said that the libido is high, okay, but you also must love the Lord. So I don't know if she gonna be giving it up, to the man that loves the Lord. Sound like she is, but that is the first priority on her list. She wants you to love the Lord and then deal with her libido, if you will. But she says she is very ready to love. My first impressions of Joy is I hate to say this, but something about Joy tells me that her standards are going to be unmeetable. Not saying that you should have low standards, but something about Joy just gives me unrealistic expectation vibes. I mean, you knew as soon as you got married, you called your pastor and told him that you had made a mistake. Like literally the first day of the marriage. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I guess we all get our vibes, but something just tells me the standards are gonna be high. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. This is just first impressions. I could be wrong. Next on the list, we have Alex. She is 32 years old, and she is an implementation specialist. She is a part of the Libra gang, so we got us another Libra. Alex says that she was in a relationship for 3 years in which she was engaged in that relationship. There were some issues on both sides, but she was not the one who cheated first. He actually was the one who cheated, which led to the demise of their relationship. So she's been celibate for 2 years, and she's ready to get in a situation where she could become uncelibate, and then eventually get to the path of marriage as well. So she's very, very ready. She talked a mile a minute, but sis is ready. I could tell by the way she was talking. She wants it pretty bad. She said that she's an animal lover. She actually just got a dog, and she's just ready to meet, a nice guy and get to the business of settling down. So first impression of Alex, I don't know. I don't have much. She just talks fast, and I could just tell by her tone and just the way that she was speaking. She very passionately wants to be in love again. So I have high hopes. I hope she's able to find that on the show. Next on the list, we have Kofani. I hope I'm saying his name right. He is 38 years old, and he is a professional bodybuilder, Olympic level professional bodybuilder, might I add. He says that he is not just a snack, honey. He is a whole meal. So if you're looking to eat, I guess he is your guy. He also says that he enjoys competition. He's very competitive, so he believes he's perfect for this show. He is ready for the ladies, and if you like him, strong, thick neck, thick muscles, then Kofani is your guy. First impression of Kofani, he seemed cool enough. I think he knows he looks, he has a very nice body, and I think he knows that, so you better know it too. I always wonder if people who are in really good shape only want to be with other people who are in really good shape. I don't know that for certain, but maybe he probably wants a girl that's just as fit. I don't know, but that was my thought when I listened to him speak. But we're going to see what is ahead for Kofani. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, we got us another Libra in the house. His name is David. He is 36 years old. He works in the oil and gas industry out here in Houston, like a lot of people do, probably one of the plants or something out here. David is what people think of when they think of your typical Houston country boy. Nice guy, nice smile. He rides horses because he's from a small city, and that's all they used to do, play sports and ride horses. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, all of y'all who think y'all gonna move to Houston and meet a whole bunch of Davids, if you know, it's not gonna happen unless you hang in certain circles. It's very hard to meet the typical Houston cowboy. You're not gonna meet them down to the lounge or the regular restaurant. They hang in certain settings. They go to certain places. They do certain things. You got to be a part of that whole trail ride community, and you can't be uppity and roll with them because they roll a different kind of way. So David is definitely that typical Houston country boy. He seems very nice. He says that he is ready to meet him a good woman and settle down. It seems like he's been ready to do that for quite some time. But he has some trust issues because he's been cheated on a few times. He didn't say exactly how many, but I gather it's more than once. And that kind of made me feel bad for him. But I'm glad he was willing to admit that he does have some trust problems and has trouble kind of breaking down that barrier. I hope he gets some help for that before he gets into another relationship, because it's not going to be her fault now that you got cheated on in the past. But he just seems like he is ready to meet somebody, and hopefully he can bring down some of those walls while he is in the house. First impression, I like David. He seems cool. He reminds me of guys that I've met out here, just hanging around the the good old country boys in Houston, because I've definitely been around a few. Next on the list, we have Denise. She is 39 years old. She's a track coach and she is a Cancer. Denise has ran track most of her life and then she moved on over to coaching. She is another Olympic qualifier, and y'all know track girls got the best bodies. She didn't say that, but I said that because that's what I believe. Um, Denise is definitely ready for a relationship. She says that she's been kind of keep it to herself for the last 4 years. She's been single. She was in a relationship that was verbally abusive and very much strict, and then it turned into a physically abusive relationship. So she's just been healing from that, but now she's ready to meet somebody. She's ready for love. Same stuff that everybody was saying, somebody good to her, supportive, all of those words. My first impression of Denise was that she really wants this. I felt like she was very genuine in her video. She seems like a person that's really ready to settle down. So I definitely want that for her. It was just something about her that I just really felt like she was truly, truly ready, and has possibly done the work on herself to be ready for that. So I'm wishing Denise well. Next on the list, we have Alicia. She's 38 years old. She's a hospital clinic manager and she is a Capricorn. Alicia says that she has the come F me eyes that will bring a man to his knees, honey. They cannot resist her when she gives them the come F me eyes. She also says that these days a man either want to marry you real quick or they just want sex. And she's tired of that. She says that she was back and forth with her children's father. She has two children. But it kind of got to the point where she had had enough. He wanted her to cook and clean and do all this other stuff. And she was like, later for that. This is not the 70s. I am a full grown woman with a full grown career. And yeah, you just later for you. She says she's been guilty of ignoring red flags for looks. She's cared more about that. And you kind of feel like she's about to take ownership of that, but then she proceeds to tell us that she once stopped dating a guy because he was shorter than her and they didn't look good in pictures, and she looked like his mama. So she broke up with him for that. My first impression of Alicia, I'm gonna just go ahead and get it out the way. It's a no for me. She does not sound like she's about to make any changes in the way that she's been dating. If you break up with somebody just because they don't look good in pictures with you, photos should not be your main concern. When she said that she had gone back and forth with her child's father, now this is no judgment because I know that those relationships can be very tough to end. However, did y'all not realize, at least before y'all had that second baby, that y'all did not want the same things? He wanted somebody more traditional and you were not that? Or Maybe that's why y'all were back and forth. Maybe it had something to do with that. But I just don't know about Alicia. She just strikes me as somebody who doesn't really know what she wants. It kind of just changes as the relationship progresses, but it's looks first and then everything else later. I wouldn't be surprised if Alicia sleep with somebody in this house and then say, you know what, I was never interested in you, so I don't know why you tripping. These men better be careful with her because she just seems like a firecracker and sis seems like she ready. Okay, next on the list we have Rasheed. And again, this photo really don't do Rasheed justice either. You gotta watch the show. He got a nice little body, slim or whatever. But he's 42 years old. He is in the luxury concierge business and he is a Scorpio. He does have a son. He was once married for 10 years. They got divorced, and his son really became his priority. He wanted to make sure his son was straight before he got back out onto the dating field. Now he's ready to date, and he's feeling a little slow. He don't know if he got the game anymore. Everything's done through text messaging, but he says he's going to continue to move how he moves and hope that attracts the right woman, which is the right attitude to have. He says he's very much a gentleman, very much a guy who kind of has that whole chivalrous attitude. I liked, my first impression of Rasheed was I liked Rasheed. He just seems like a cool dude. I love a good father. Okay, I say that all the time. And the fact that he wanted to make sure his son was good before he even got back out there and dating again, I think is a wonderful thing. And he's going to be himself. And that's kind of the best way that you can be. So I hope he meets the right one. What did y'all think about Rasheed? Next, we have Anthony. He is 35 years old. He's an Aquarius and he's a student support manager. I'm not really sure what that is, but he's played football all of his life. He played professional football, which was why he was not dating in his younger years. He says that he knew he wouldn't be faithful and wouldn't be able to be a family man, so he didn't focus on it, which takes a lot of maturity to be able to say and do that. So thank you, Anthony, for that. Anthony says that he is ready now to do those things he wasn't doing in the past. He has a lot of energy, y'all. He was giving us, his best Chippendale moves, and he was greased up. So you have to have a lot of high energy to date somebody like Anthony. I could never, child. My energy is very low. So he's gonna need somebody that's perked up. And he said a lot of these dudes don't know how to think, and that's why he's gonna win in the end, because he is a thinker. So there you have it. That is Mr. Anthony for all you ladies out there. First impressions, I just think Anthony's gonna be fun. So we'll see. All right, the Capricorns are coming with the heat. Next, we have Simone. She is 37 years old and she's a lawyer and another Capricorn. Simone says her first question is, when she meets a guy, is, do I want to see you naked? And from there, she moves forward with whether or not she wants to date you. Simone says that because she's a lawyer, she is quite aggressive, and sometimes she does bring that into her relationships. She has to remind herself to relax and kind of let the man do what the man is going to do and, just chill with it. What I loved about Simone was that she said in order for relationships to work, she realized that she needed to work on her daddy issues. So she reached out to get a better relationship with her father. And when she almost started to cry, I was like, girl, don't start. Because y'all know how I get about, daddy-daughter stuff. But they have a better relationship now. And so now that she's put that behind her, she's able to do better with her relationship. So I like Simone for that. I love when a person can take accountability and work on themselves. So I'm hopeful for Simone. It's going to take a strong one to handle her, but I'm hopeful for her. Next, we have Shay. She is 40 years old and she is a Leo. She's a private chef and caterer. She has a 24-year-old daughter, I believe, and she had her when she was 16. She has put herself through school. She has put her daughter through school, and she's very proud of her accomplishments. But now she is looking for the right man to support her in her life with not only her business, but also that partnership and love. She says that she does not date based on looks. She dates on how somebody treats her, and that's the best way to do it. So I like Shay for that reason. And she said if the man is ugly, it's her type of ugly, so it don't matter if you think he's ugly or not. So I like Shay. She doesn't seem superficial or come off that way, so I think I'm gonna really like her. Next on the list, we have Christopher. He is 41 years old. He's a Cancer, and he's better known as KJ Smooth, the radio personality. Now, he says that he hasn't really dated that much because he never really knows if women want him for him or if they just want KJ Smooth. I had no idea who KJ Smooth was, so I had to go look it up. But he actually is a VJ on 102.1, which I do listen to from time to time. It's just not my main station, but it is a popular station, so I'm not gonna front on bruh. He is on a popular station. He says that he is ready to love and he is looking for a lady with some melanin. Okay, he don't really care what else you got going on, the other features, but you gotta have some melanin in you. And I was cool with that. First impression of Christopher, I don't know, y'all, cause he one minute he say he don't know if women want him for him, but then he every time he got on a blazer, it's open, and he greased up. So, I mean, I don't know what you really trying to give off, KJ, but we gonna see what's up. Next, we have Raymond. He is 52 years old and he's a professional guitarist. He's an Aquarius. Raymond tells us that he got to keep his little salt and pepper beard because if not, the ladies just think he is so young, and he just. Raymond is a character. Raymond has 5 children. I don't know how many baby mamas, but it's 5 children. And he says, in this life, you dating and then you doing stuff and, you just have babies. It just kind of is what it is. I'm gonna just cut to the chase. My first impression of Raymond is a no. It's a no for me. He seems a little full of himself. He said he actually was shocked that a woman chose to leave him and started dating a younger guy, which prompted him to get in better shape so that she could regret leaving. So, yeah, then he got these 5 children, y'all. I mean, I don't know. It's one thing if you have one, but then you just keep on having them, and there's no commitment laid down to anybody, and it's never your fault that the commitment is. I just, mm-mm. But y'all can let me know what y'all thought about Raymond. Next, we have Dani. She is 40 years old, and she's a project coordinator. She's a Cancer. She got married when she was 20 years old, I believe. It ended up not working out, so she put all of her focus into raising her daughter. She didn't want a bunch of different men around her, so she just made that her focus. Now she has a grown daughter who has fully supported her decision to move on and find somebody for her, which is what she is trying to do here on the show. She has been in other relationships before, but things didn't quite work out. She says she's just looking for somebody nice. Like, please, just be nice, which lets me know that she has probably ran into some people who were quite nasty and rude. And you do run into that these days. I really blame all this time that we're spending on the computers and on the phones. Like, it just can turn you into like a person that doesn't emote the feelings of a regular human being, and we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna do a review of The Social Network that was on Netflix, so y'all should watch it. But anyway, that's another subject. Dani, I'm hoping that she can meet her a really nice guy on this show because she seems like a sweet woman. Lord, it's a lot of people on this show. Okay, next is Winter. She is 40 years old. She is an Aquarius and a small business consultant. Winter says that she is very sensual and her sensuality will thrive under the right man. Winter's story touched me in particular because Winter did everything they tell you to do. Okay, she waited until she got married to to have sex on the wedding night and just dated a man in church. She just tried to do the right thing. 3 weeks after the wedding, her significant other cheated on her with a coworker. So it's just I don't like when stuff like that happens, especially when you try to do it right. Winter says you could put a bunch of men in the room and she would be guaranteed to find the one that was not ready to commit. So I am really hopeful for Winter. Out of all the women, I really want her to get the right guy. Next, we have Sam. He is 35 years old. He's a visual artist and he is an Aquarius. Sam says that he was with his daughter's mother for 10 years. I don't know why we dating for 10 years, but I digress, unless it's what you agree upon. He says that he was very popular at that time in his life and that there was a lack of trust and he had to call out. So I'm guessing that means it was a lot of women. He probably cheated and then they broke up. So, okay. He says he met another young lady that he was vibing with, and a week later, she ends up pregnant and didn't allow him to be at the hospital for the son's birth, which is messed up. And now Sam is in the place where he ready to love. So, I mean, it's a no for me. Because it sounds like Sam got 2 baby mamas, and that's my limit. I can only do one, but I don't know if Sam quite ready, with everything else he got going on. But everybody deserves a second chance. Edwin, last but not least, is 39 years old. He is a part of the Virgo gang, and he is a chef as well as a former veteran. Edwin has adult braces. I do know the struggle, but he says that he embarked on being a chef and decided that his name was going to be Chef in the City after becoming a fan of Sex in the City, which is another plus in my book. He says he's looking for a woman who is supportive, but he's also looking for what he can give in the relationship, not just what he can receive, but also what he can give another person, which I loved. Seems like a really nice guy. I liked him just from the way he spoke, so that was my first impression of Edwin, and he is ready for a good woman. All right, y'all, that is it. It was a whole lot of people. If I forgot somebody, oh well. I don't like doing these because it makes for an extra long video, and most people don't like long videos. So there's that. I do not know if I'll be able to review every week because you guys know my schedule and my situation. So if you see a video, I did it. If you don't, I couldn't do it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.